invite you to relax into this sacred time and sacred space that you have created for yourself. I invite you to fully immerse yourself in this radical act of self-love, to step into your power, to become your own healer, your own shaman. So make yourself comfortable. Take a few deep breaths to prepare yourself for the journey ahead. And dive into this deep medicine of the imagination. Closing your eyes and bringing your awareness into the here and now, into this time and into this place. Into your body and into your breath. Because this is time for you. It's time to be, time to rest, relax, release, and recharge. Okay, big deep breath, sinking into the journey now. So I just want to mention first of all that as soon as I started, my hands turned on and the Reiki started flowing very, very strongly. So my hands are red hot already. So we've got lots of Reiki flowing into your system. Currently my hands are over my womb space, over my lower abdomen and sacral chakra. This is just where I always start because it's comfortable for me to put my hands here. But because they're really hot, this is where I'm going to keep them for now. It's worth mentioning that the sacral chakra is the place, it's the energy center that governs our subconscious emotional reality. It's often those emotions that we store on a very subconscious level that relate to our parents, our children, and our siblings and our lovers. So yeah, really, you know, it's the really deep emotions that often we're not even consciously aware of. The conscious emotions are in our hearts. Big deep breath. And the subconscious emotions are in our womb. Okay, so with that big deep breath, I'm going to move one of my hands to cover my heart. So I've got one hand on the womb space. Big deep breath. Another confirmation there that we're going in the right direction. One hand on the heart, one hand over the womb. So we're now covering both of the emotional centers, the subconscious emotional center and the conscious emotional center. And my hands are very, very hot. So we've got a lot of Reiki flowing in here. Reiki works to both clear out any unhelpful energy and patterns in these places, and it also flows in to strengthen us and top up our energetic batteries if they are low. So it always has this dual function of both clearing and charging. And I'm starting to get a few twitches in my eyes, and my head is starting to hurt a little bit. I kind of feel like I've got some kind of skull cap on. Ooh, my head's hurting quite a lot now actually. I've got pain coming in at both temples. Big deep breath. So my body takes these big deep breaths to confirm what's going on. But yeah, so I'm getting this strong sense of the the crown, it almost feels like I've got a helmet that's bolted on over the top of my head, bolted through the temples. Big deep breath. Okay, so I'm calling to whichever ally can help me at this time to deal with this. I'm going to call it skull cap because that's what it feels like. To deal with this skull cap, whatever it is. More eye twitching. Gosh, it seems we're working on lots of different levels at the minute. My hands are still going on the womb and the heart. The throat's clearing, and we've got this skull cap here being worked on. So who's going to come to deal with this skull cap then, and to, I'm assuming, take it off, because it feels like it needs to be taken off. I'm now getting pain down the back of my neck. Whatever it is, it's really restrictive. That's the kind of sensation that I'm getting. Big deep breath, that it's been purposely placed over your head to restrict and repress and stop. The crown is our connection to our higher self. It's our connection to the universe, to universal consciousness, to our higher consciousness. And so having this this energy blockage or energetic object over the top is, it's cutting you off from your connection to the universal consciousness and to your higher self as well. And it's really painful. I've got really, really strong, painful sensations going on here. Come on, allies, who's going to come and take it off, please? All right. Okay, I've got, that pain is still strong there. Okay, I've got my ally, Archangel Metatron, who has arrived. And Metatron deals with soul contracts. So, soul contracts are the contracts that we make with ourselves or with others to make a promise or a vow or an oath to do something or be something or serve someone or something. And so what I'm being told is that this skull cap is part of a soul contract. Okay, I'm being told to offer you a complete soul contract revocation, which means cancelling any and all soul contracts which restrict, repress, or bind you in any way into vows which limit you in any way from achieving your highest potential in this lifetime and all lifetimes. And we can contract ourselves in so many different ways. A marriage vow is a contract. A vow of celibacy to the church is a contract. We make contracts with ourselves and with others all the time. And sometimes these contracts are for very good reasons. Sometimes they come from a place of love. That doesn't mean to say that they're necessarily good for us. And sometimes they come from a place of good intentions, like to try and help others or to protect others. And sometimes we carry these contracts across many lifetimes, and we find ourselves in a new lifetime where those contracts are not appropriate for us anymore. So at this time, I make the offer to you to cancel, and all you have to do is say yes to this if you are happy and wanting and willing for this to happen. I make you the offer to cancel any and all soul contracts across all time, all space, all lifetimes and all dimensions that exist between you and yourself and you and anyone else in body or in spirit, physical or metaphysical, individual or collectives or groups that are restrictive or binding or repressing you from achieving your highest potential in this lifetime and all lifetimes. I ask for these contracts to be cancelled across all time, all space, all lifetimes and all dimensions. Metatron, please cancel these contracts now. skull cap has lifted off. Now there is still a bit of discomfort in my temples and in the back of my head. Is there any further work that we need to do here? What else do we need to do? Big deep breath. Who would like to come and help us with this next part of the work? Okay, Starfish is here. Starfish comes to basically clear any negative thought programs and emotional programs in the head and in the heart. And Starfish basically sucks them out with her suckers that are on the underside of her body. And so Starfish, I ask you to now suck out any unhelpful thought processes, limiting beliefs, negative mental patterns or programs, as well as any negative emotional patterns or programs or self-limiting emotional patterns. Big deep breath. Okay, so Starfish is sucking all this stuff out of my head, out of your head, and I can feel that it's almost like she's hoovering things out, hoovering out these limiting beliefs and emotional patterns. And you know, we receive these from all sorts of places. Sometimes they're projected into us from other people. They can be projected into us from society, from institutions, like religious institutions, or the media, or the family. You might be able to hear the goose that lives next door to me. Goose is coming in. Goose is a great protector. Big deep breath there. Okay, so Goose is coming in to protect now. This is a male goose that's protecting his female. He's very vocal on a regular basis. And I'm getting a real sense of tiredness. In fact, this tiredness, this exhaustion, this deep lack of energy. It started right at the beginning of the session. I was very aware of feeling very tired at the very beginning. And it feels like all of these restrictive patternings, self-limiting emotional patterns, self-limiting mental patterns, feels like they're exhausting, they are draining, they are, oh, that's really uncomfortable. So Starfish is still sucking stuff out, and I can feel it's all in the centre of my brain and around my eyes. My eyes are going really twitchy now. She's working right into the centre of the head now. She was in the back of the head before, and now that clearing is going on in the centre and the front of the head, of the upper of the forehead area. Yeah, it feels like all of this programming, this toxic, sludgy programming, telling us that we're not good enough, telling us that we're this, that we're that we're invalid, that our needs and our desires and our wants don't count for anything. All of those messages that we are told that mean we're not allowed to ask for or expect or demand or deserve what we want and what we need to be happy and healthy. You know, all of that it's a huge amount of invalidating conditioning. And this is what Starfish is sucking out of the head. And again, I'm just yawning. It's like this, all of this conditioning is just exhausting. It feels like it's clogging up my system, especially my head. Like there's just loads of cotton wool in there. It's clogging up my ability to think and to process. Oh, more yawning, wow. Yeah, just wow, I feel so tired. And you know, I think that this is a very clever way, again, of disempowering people, is to force them to work so hard and to constantly be up against this deluge of toxic energy that it's like wading through treacle, like trying to walk through quicksand. It's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. And I'm getting a real sense of just how exhausting this process is of having to wade through toxic programming. My eyes are twitching a lot again now. So I'm being told that, you know, this sludge, I'm calling it toxic sludge because that's what it feels like, is, oh, now that's interesting as well. I've just moved my hand up from my womb onto my solar plexus and my other hand from my heart down to my solar plexus. So both hands are resting on my solar plexus, which wasn't intentional at all. They just kind of found their way there. But the solar plexus is our seat of personal power. It's our seat of feeling confident or lacking confidence. It's the place where we can stand strong in ourselves, or if we're lacking solar plexus energy, we do not stand strong in ourselves. And I'm being told again, this connects into energy, of day-to-day energy to do stuff, is if we are low on solar plexus energy, then we don't have the energy that we need to work and play and to do what we need to do, that it is exhausting, that we are, you know, we're constantly fighting an uphill battle through life just to exist and just to be, as we fight our way through all this toxic sludge of mental and emotional programming and intrusions and, toxic energy that's been planted into us. Big deep breath. And so, you know, this toxic energy, when it's filling our energy field from top to bottom, it stops our natural energy from flowing. It stops the life force energy that our bodies need from flowing. It's like if you blocked up all of your blood vessels, your blood can't flow. What happens then? Everything stagnates and dies. You get very ill. Well, the same thing happens if your energy field is clogged up with toxic sludge as well. Big deep breath. Your energy field then can't work effectively. The energy can't move and flow and feed you and keep you energized and keep all of your energy centers and your meridians running efficiently. And so your whole energy field slows down and slows down and slows down, and as you use up the energy that is stored in your energy field, it's not being replenished because it can't get through because of all the toxic sludge. And so this is what's happening, is we're having a full de-sludging is what's going on. De-sludging of toxic energy that has clogged up our system through programming and projection. You know, a lot of this energy it's projected from others, specifically with the intention of harming us, in terms of it's sabotage, really. It stops our energy field from functioning efficiently and effectively. And so in that sense, it's sabotaging our energy field. It's sabotaging our health, our emotional health, our mental health, our energetic health. And that all has a knock-on effect upon our physical health and our spiritual health. So my hands are still working, the Reiki's still flowing at my solar plexus, and starfish is still sucking out the sludge out of my head, although that has calmed down a little bit now. My hands are still really hot, really, really hot. One hand has just moved back up to the heart space, and one is over the solar plexus. A lot of the other thing that I'm being told is that this toxic sludge is also a build-up of our own negative emotional and mental energy. When we do not have systems or practices in place to regularly clear that energy, it builds up. If we are not doing the things that our energy system needs to constantly be clearing out the sludge, and that's different for different people. That could be meditating, that could be self-healing through practices like learning how to practice Reiki for yourself. That could be going to other people for healing, for energy healing, Reiki, shiatsu, acupuncture, all those kind of things. It could be going and doing a regular yoga class, or doing yoga at home. For some people that might be going out for a daily walk into nature. All of these things are brilliant for resetting your energy field, for releasing the toxic sludge. Going swimming in natural water, or any water in fact, is a great way as well of releasing toxic sludge. So, finding ways of having a regular practice or a regular discipline that helps you to keep your energy field clear, so that you can run natural energy that you are always naturally taking into your body through the form of sunlight and food and things that make you feel good. When you do things that you love, you generate energy. It gives you energy. When you go out into the sunshine, it gives you energy. When you're in your garden connecting with the earth, that gives you energy. When you're engaging in wholesome activities, you're gaining energy. But when we get caught up in cycles of stress and fear and heartache and heartbreak and emotional drama, we are actually creating toxic sludge. And so we have to learn to curb our habits that keep us locked in these negative emotional and mental patterns and habits, and we need to learn to instill and install and discipline ourselves with regular habits and practices that help us to clear all the toxic sludge. So having a good working understanding of what sludges us and what desludges us is really, really helpful. Paying attention to how you feel energetically can be a really good way of gauging that. If you find yourself feeling tired, exhausted, pessimistic, depressed, lethargic, wondering to yourself, what's the point? Why am I doing this? What's the point in life? All of those kind of thought patterns. It means that you're not running enough energy in your energy field. It means that you've clogged up the toxic sludge. It means that you need a really good clear out. So if you find yourself going into those places, reboot your own thought processes and force yourself to engage in the things that will do you good. Now, I know that's hard, especially if it's a long-standing pattern. But you need to really be brutal with yourself and get in what I call the thought police. If you start noticing yourself going into those negative mind patterns, mind loops, into those negative emotional patterns and emotional loops, you know, whether that's telling yourself negative stories, going through the same conversations in your head, that might be with yourself, or it might be with somebody else that you're angry with or sad about or whatever. You know, we find ourselves telling ourselves these negative stories and going through mental conversations which create toxic sludge. We find ourselves going through emotional patterns, whether that's creating dramas or doing things which feed the sludge, like watching the news or listening to sad songs that make us cry, or that trigger us emotionally. There's all sorts of different ways that we end up creating toxic sludge for ourselves through our habits and patterns. So get your thought police in. Start to police yourself around when you are slipping into those things, and start to establish, set up good, positive, regular, and this is really important, that it's not once in a blue moon, it's not, when you reach breaking point, it's not when you reach crisis point. You need to instill these systems into yourself on a regular basis. This is maintenance, this is good energetic maintenance, and this is what keeps you on a level. It's no good just doing that kind of stuff when you find yourself crashing, or when you've already crashed, because it's so much harder to then bring you back. So much harder. Whereas trying to install good habits, little and often, is so very powerful. So very powerful. It's like the difference between going to the gym once every 6 months or once a year. It's not going to do anything, is it? Might make you feel better for half an hour or an hour. It would probably make you feel worse for a good few days afterwards, and then nothing has changed. Whereas if you go to the gym regularly, or you go for a walk every day, or you go for a run every day, you start to notice long-term changes and shifts in yourself. And so this is really, really important, I would say, for lifting oneself out of these toxic habits of emotional and mental toxic sludge creation. I feel like I've been giving you a bit of a telling off there, but this is really important. It's really important to do this stuff regularly. And I'm not trying to plug it, but this is one of the reasons why I've set up my Healing Transmission membership, is so that people can have access to good quality energetic healing on a regular basis for a good price as well. It's so that people can tap into this regularly. It's like that going to a yoga class every week or every 2 weeks. It's that regularity keeps you healthy on a long-term basis. Okay, my head is feeling a lot better now. I think it's been desludged. My heart's feeling good as well. Solar plexus as well, that was all very hot for quite a long time. That feels like it's had a right good charge up. Okay, is there anything else? Anything else for today, please, allies? I've got so hot I've had to take my arms out of the blanket actually that's covering me, because I've got really, really hot. So that's good, we've had a big recharge here. A lot of energy's gone in, a lot of toxic sludge has come out, and a lot of energy has gone in. Okay, have we got anything to finish with, please? Feel like we're coming to the end now. Any allies that wish to come? Okay, I've got flamingo. Flamingo is stalking through my vision. And it's not just flamingo, I'm getting, in fact it's not flamingo. That's what I thought it was at first. But in fact it's kind of generic, all those water birds. Basically I can see a bird with really long legs that's wading through the water and filtering all of the little tiny bits of food out, using its bill. I'm being told that this is about filtering. This is why flamingo came to mind first of all, because one of my very good friends, she has flamingo as an ally, and flamingo is a filterer for her, filtering out the toxic rubbish. But it's not flamingo that I'm seeing. I can't really tell. It looks a bit like a pelican almost, but no. What are you? What are you? I don't think it's a specific species. It's just saying I'm a filter feeder. But it's a water bird of some kind. Come to filter out the rubbish. Okay. So this is the ally that's come for the end, to help you to filter the toxic, unhelpful energy coming in, and to help you to filter out the stuff that's already inside or that's generated from within, in order to open up your energy field and allow the energy to flow in. And what I'm also being told is that this particular transmission, for people that find that this is a regular pattern, that this sludging and required desludging is a regular pattern, listen to this transmission and receive this healing over and over again. Even if that is the only repetitive practice that you do, to listen to this transmission regularly. Do it once a week. Do it when you're feeling energetically low. Do it when you're feeling sad, bad, miserable, negative, down in the dumps. Yeah? Listen to this healing transmission. Receive the healing, the desludging, and the re-energizing. And you can do this as often as you need to. Okay, I'm being told we are finished. All right, so I give my thanks to all of those who have come and helped in this healing work today. Thank you for the healing. Thank you for the healing. Thank you for the healing. And now, taking a few deep breaths. Coming back into this time and back into this place. Back into your body and back into your breath. Giving your fingers a little wiggle. Giving your toes a little wiggle. And stretching yourself out to return to the here and now. And I look forward to taking another soul journey with you soon. Lots of love, Joanna Joy.